Hello and welcome to the Colorado Jugger League. I'm your host, Sebastian Seabass Wolf, and we're going to have 5 teams facing off to become the Colorado champion. The Marauders, Drengr, Phantoms, Reapers, and Zero Fox, all competing in our Colorado League. Today's match is Drengr versus the Marauders, both Colorado teams with a decent history. We're going to start by going through the Drengr. We've got Sebastian number 17, Dragon 27, and Fishy 37, Rat 5, Fenrir 13, and Zeps 0. They will be on the Drengr side versus the Marauders, Conda 21, McFlop 18, DZ 24, Sunsun 34, Jaeger, Crispy, and Nightmare number 42. If you haven't gotten the chance to like and subscribe to the channel, we would love to have you do so. Now, if you haven't gotten the chance to learn what Jugger is, we're going to take just a second to go through the rules and regulations for you. Jugger is a competitive sport played between 2 teams. 4 enforcers armed with Pomfin and able to defend themselves, and 1 quick who has nothing and is the only player able to grab the ball in the center, known as the skull. After a countdown, the players enter the field and face off against each other in the center. The enforcers spar with their Pomfin while the quick fights for control of the skull. If a player is struck by a Pomfin, they drop for a set amount of time, temporarily taken out of the action. Using a variety of Pomfin from the spear-like slash or short and shield to the intimidating chain, an 8-foot ball on a rope, enforcers must work as a team to deal with their opponents while creating an opening for their quick to grab the skull. Once the quick sees an opening, they rush for the skull and then for the goal, placing the skull inside it and scoring a point for their team. With all that out of the way, let's get into the action today. Drengr and Marauders both hitting the field, and immediately off the line we can see some excellent chain break on the side of the Marauders. DC with a double chain break against Dragon there. Diving strike is going to take him down, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the field's looking pretty open. Decent attempt at quick wrestling on both sides, but it looks like we are going to get the first point of the entire Colorado Jugger League on the board. Drengr up 1-0 against the Marauders. Now, Drengr, as those of you may know from the Mile High Open, was one of the lowest seeded teams. Marauders did not make an appearance, unfortunately. So Drengr are going to be doing their best to write a redemption story this time around, see if they can pull off a better attempt than they did last year. Once again, we see DC and Dragon facing off there on the outside. You can see Conda, the sword and board player on the Marauders, is going to go down yet again to the chain, and we're going to see a very quick run-in. Can we stop it? There is no stopping the Drengr this time, and they're going to put up a second point very quickly. 2-0 is now the score, Drengr's favor. Now keep in mind these are stone matches, so they are timed. They are not set play like what we saw in seeding for the Mile High Open. That means it is going to be the highest score possible inside the time limit will win. And with that, looks like we see the ready calls, both sides rushing out. We're going to see Conda taking the outside lane. A beautiful flank this time. Going to chase the quick there. Beautiful work taking down Fenrir on the side of the Drengr. I stand corrected again. A diving shot going to do their best. They collect the skull. They're going to run off, forcing the chain McFlop to take them down. Excellent work there by Rat as well with the counter chain strike, and she is going to immediately get back into position. There we can see Fishy taking on Jaeger, and both of them going to go down once again. Rat in commanding position. Going to start circling that chain, and Drengr are in skull possession. Marauders going to move back into formation. Another knockdown, but it's going to be easily replaced once again. Fishy, the last one standing, again going to protect the skull, and they are going to move in formation as the quick. Beautiful job by Sunsun there, takes down a double, and now it looks like, unfortunately, Fenrir is stuck without many answers, going to have to juke around, doing their best, moving to the outside, trying to buy time for Rat to get back in. A very long play thus far. Now running down along the sidelines, Fenrir is going to make a break for the goal. We can see Seabass there with a slash trying to defend, but it's not quite going to be enough, and the quick will go down. Multiple Marauders moving into position, and it looks like their quick now has it. Nightmare going to move on up. Got the skull rushing towards the goal. Single defender left for the Drengr, and despite having skull possession for such a long period of time, the Marauders are going to put it away. 2-1 is now the score. Fantastic work by the Marauders. Excellent job having players in the front and backfield to cover that goal. There was no place for Drengr to try and score it without a Marauder there to contest it for them. 2-1, and here we go. Ready calls back in. We see fast on the line this time from Drengr. They're going to get Skull possession. Marauders playing it slow. Chain shot going to end in a huge, some sort of conglomeration there in the center. And once again, Drengr's Quick is isolated. Sun going to take them down. We see Rat there circling with the Chain, going to try and get their Quick back up. Chain duck, beautiful work there by the Marauders. Several Drengr enforcers dropping back into position. They're going to try and cover that goal, and they do this time around. Seabass gets in, going to anchor over there by the goal. Taken down, though, but it doesn't matter. This Drengr has the Skull, and they're moving downfield. DC going to come in, take down the Quick after that beautiful Quick wrestle, and just like that, we're at halftime, folks. 2-1 is the score, and after 2 extended plays, we are in a very low-scoring game. Excellent work by both sides. Now see that they have switched position. There you see Seabass taking on Conda in the chain break position. Conda takes one down, immediately going to move outside, but Zepp's there, the Quick going to move in, tries to score the goal, going to get taken down, not able to do so. Conda on an absolute tear, takes down 2, takes down 3. Chain break there by Seabass is going to put a stop to him, and Conda's going to fall right out of bounds. You can see a bit of a play there by Jugger, going to try and take several of them down. No goal called. Very, very close to getting it in, but not quite going to be enough. We can see once again Drengr are going to try and get into position. Not quite going to be enough. They're going to dive in. The goal will be called, but I do believe there is a flag on the play. We will take a look from there. Referee is having a conversation right now, determining whether or not that penalty was play affecting. If it was, they will have to redo and reset the point. Excellent work there offensively by Drengr. Despite Conda's incredible work on the line, it was not quite enough to stop them from putting the point in. However, it does look like that was play affecting. The points will be reset 2-1. So despite the offensive and defensive work by both teams, the play has been reset, and we will start again 2-1. Both teams rush out. Drengr again fast on the line. This time around, Fenrir is there quick. Going to drop back. Zepp's on the sword and board. Going to do their best to deflect, but they're not going to get it. McFlop going to take 2 down, and we can see Fenrir sprinting for the goal. Quick wrestle is going to stop them in their tracks. Forced to ice the Skull as multiple Marauders take them down. Moving in, Zepp's going to take the Quick out of commission, and now it looks like Drengr are moving into a defensive formation. Several pins come up across the field on the side of Drengr. Excellent attempt by Dragon, not quite going to be enough. Conda going to trip and roll there, but immediately gets into combat position, going to face off against Zeps over the Skull. Both of them dive and roll together, double on the outside. Fantastic work there to stop buys just enough time for Dragon to get back up. He is going to try and set essentially a pin there by maneuvering that chain around Conda. Skull flick going to happen, attempted, block is going to go, but the second swing will take him down, and once again, Dragon with a double going to knock everyone down for 8 stones. Zepp's going to be up and grabs the pin. There he goes. Multiple enforcers on the side of Drengr continue to hold those pins. We're going to see an almost team kill right there, but finally Fenrir is going to get a hold of the Skull. It's going to be Quick versus Quick as they wrestle down the side of the field. DC going to get up and try and provide reinforcements. They're going to move in, but it's not quite going to be enough. And 3-1 is the score. Drengr versus Marauders. Insanely long and close plays here from both teams. You love to see it. Excellent offense and defense back and forth. 3-1, though, is the score, and many stones have been spent on these plays thus far. This time, very fast on the line for Marauders. They're going to annihilate multiple members across the entire line. Chain break going to come out from Seabass, but it's not quite going to be enough. We'll buy just enough time for the enforcers to get back up, but I don't think it'll be enough. Attempted stop on the goal. They're going to get in position, and there it is. Marauders push it through. Beautiful work there. Slow playing most of the game. Marauders turn on the gas for that one. Excellent dive play, it looked like, by Jugger there in the center. Excellent work. They are now within spitting distance. A single point. 3-2 is the score. Both teams sprint out onto the line. This time we're going to see inside. Drengr gets the flick. Conda attempting the flank, takes 1 down on the outside, takes 2 down on the outside, moving in, trying to take down Seabass, get a third. He will get a third. Conda on a roll, getting an immediate triple, but it's not quite going to be enough. Buys just enough time to get an enforcer, and Conda is still up and moving, forces the Skull ice downfield. Conda absolutely on fire on the opening of that play, but the ice to Drengr enforcers is going to put them in a good defensive position. They're both going to try and fight each other out here. DC versus Seabass over Skull possession. DC going to take the win, and just like that, Nightmare's got the Skull and is now moving upfield. DC moves in, attempts to get it. Dragon gonna barely catch the shoulder on the quick right there. He's gonna grab the skull, possession back in Drengr's favor. Fenrir has the skull, everyone getting into defensive positions. Marauders trying to slide in, but it's not quite going to be enough as Connor's going to run down that field, and just like that, the clock will expire, and Drengr will take the game 3-2. That's it for our first league game, folks. Thank you very much for joining us, and I will see you next time with the Colorado Jugger League.